And that is a wrap. Estrella Galicia post-show is on of the EDP Vissla Ericeira Pro. 5 out of the 6 events are done on the Challenger Series. The beach is still packed. Still sort of all of these guys just sort of processing what just went down. There's trophies that the winners and the runner-up are going to get, take them home and be on their mantelpiece. The trophies are great. The money's awesome, but the points, Felicity, are even better. For sure. The points is where it's at. I mean, it's their dream to qualify for the World Tour, and 10,000 points is a big jump. So, yeah, it's super important for these surfers. And Portugal, Philippe, that's where you're from. It turned it on today for one of a magic day of professional surfing. Yeah, this has got to be one of the best days we have this summer. Because for me, it's still summer with weather like this and waves like this. It's summer. We had a little bit of swell, and the swell direction is perfect. Light winds. What else could you want? Yeah, not much more than that, and some huge numbers that went down as well. We're going to go through both the men's and women's road to the final in this post-show. We've got the EDP Way of the Day. We've got the presentation. So there's a lot coming our way. Unpick what's been a pretty dramatic event. But we'll go through the men's bracket first and see how we reached to this stage where David Silva marched his way through the quarterfinals into the semis and into the finals. And I'll tell you what, that D Silva at that top of that every way through, and the numbers he was posting was off the scale, Flick. For sure, throughout the whole event, I just feel like he's been a dominating force. I mean, that quarterfinal one, that was a really hard matchup against Cole Hauschman. He's obviously #1 in the rankings, already qualified for the CT. So he had a big job ahead of him, and yeah, took it all the way through to the final. Yeah, his backhand surfing, Jervis, was just, every turn mattered. Yeah, it puts the extra effort on each and every turn. You just see from the amount of spray and he throws every time it hits the lip. It's so expressive, his surfing. You can see the body movement, the upper body movement, the leg movement. It's just everything. The timing is perfect. He has the connection with the wave. It just is surfed throughout the whole week as one of the best surfers of the contest, obviously, if not the best. I think he was the best. He was putting a lot of high scores on the line. Each and every single heat, he was dropping really high scores, and especially with surfing like this, just top to bottom surfing. Nothing going wrong in his way. Just he chose very good waves. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he surfed it. He surfed them better than anyone, so really well surfed by David. And jumps up to 5th on the rankings, Flick, and there's a reason why he's made the CT before, because he's got this. He's got the talent, he's got the drive, he's super experienced, and when he puts it all together, well, as he proved today, he's unbeatable. Oh, for sure. With surfing like that, it's World Tour surfing right there for me. So well timed, incredibly well placed maneuvers. He also wasn't rushing anything. He just looked like, got to echo what you said, Philippe, he looks so connected to this wave, just got a special relationship with it. These turns, he just has such a good read. Everything's well placed. He really waits in his bottom turns too. He doesn't try and get to any section too quickly. And yeah, just the backhand, just an absolute standout. So yeah, it was very, very impressive for me. And for him to jump up 20 places and to now be sitting in 5th on the rankings is insane. So right now after this event and with this result, you know, with surfing like this, he's in that qualifying position, top 10 on the men make it. So yeah, he's right up there now, rocketed up the rankings, and an event in his home country, Brazil, to come next week. So yeah, he couldn't have done any better, obviously. He's won the final, came from way down in the rankings, and I think, yeah, a 19-point heat total in the semi, a couple of 18-point heat totals. So just the numbers were kind of, you know, mind-boggling, Jervis. He just, and he had backups that were like, or throwaways, should say, you know, like 8s and 9s that weren't even counting. That's absurd. Like, that's the dream, honestly. Just to be throwing away 8s and 7s, that's a dream for any competitor. That just means how high his level is and how strong he is right now. And I think this might shift his mind a little bit to Saquaerma, because now he really has a chance to qualify. And I think he's going to shift his mindset and put all the effort in qualifying for the World Tour, because you know what? 10,000 points is a lot of points, and just put him up there on the rankings, and it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to do on the last stop the Challenger Series. We had 8 excellent waves ridden this week, Flick. So I mean, that's what, 1 a day? Let's call it 1 a day. I mean, and so when you're posting those numbers consistently, you're at a new gear. You've gone up to a new level, and that's what he's done.
For sure. So impressive. So dominant all event.
Yeah, really impressive. Even the seagulls loved it. And a beautiful day of waves. The waves just absolutely delivered. And those two finalists put on a show. Speaking of putting on a show, Paul Evans is going to put on a show. He's down there on the presentation stage right now. All yours, Paul Evans.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody to the awards presentation for the EDP Vissla Pro Ericeira, presented by Estrella Galicia. Whew. What a week of surfing, unbelievable. Finals day today, it's been absolutely crazy. The best conditions of the whole week, and our surfers have put on an absolute show. First of all, though, I'd just like to thank you guys, all the fans, all the spectators, the locals who have given up their wave. You guys make some noise, give yourselves a round of applause. You've been awesome. This event, a key one in the season, of course, the time of year that it comes with all the talk of qualification and all that sort of stuff, but the key ingredient has been the excellent surf we've had this week, and the performances from our athletes have been absolutely incredible. Lots of people working hard behind the scenes in this event, but we wouldn't be here at all without our partners, so it's big thanks to EDP Vissla, Estrella Galicia, and I'd like to welcome on stage, in order to hand over our trophies, from Mafra City Council, Pedro Silva Carmo, from Tourism of Portugal, Lydia Monteiro, from EDP, Catarina Baradas, and from Vissla, Adrian Waller. Come up to the stage, you guys, welcome. Big thanks to our other event partners, Tourism Portugal, Mafra City Council, Mayo, Millennium Bank, Joaquim Chaves Soj, Hertz, You and the Sea, and Yeti. And thanks once again to the local community here in Ericeira. Thank you. All right, well, our first trophy today is going to go to a surfer whose scores and his performances were unbelievable. He's quite quietly spoken when he's back on land, but the sort of scores he was posting, the surfing he was doing, made a really, really strong case that he should be back on the championship tour real soon. He's gone some way towards taking that step with a final placing here in Ericeira. We're going to ask Katerina to present the men's runner-up trophy. Let's make some noise. Jake Marshall, ladies and gents. Hey, let's get a quick word with you, Jake. Obviously going all the way to the final, it's an incredible feeling. We'd love to go for the win, but your performance even in the final was solid, and you must reflect you've jumped up the ratings. This has been a great week in Portugal.
Oh yeah, this has been an amazing event for me. It's been definitely my best one of the year. So I just want to thank everyone over here in Portugal. This is always one of my favorite places to visit every year, and I just love spending time over here, and it's fitting that this has been my best event. So. Save the magic.
All right, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jake Marshall. All right, well, we talk about surfers with relationships with waves, and this next athlete put an amazing statement, a career highlight win here 2 years ago, 2021. She absolutely ripped this place apart in that final. She's been great here all week, an incredible surfer. Let's make some noise for your women's runner-up, Luana Silva. Adrian Waller from Vissla, handing over the trophy to Luana. Let's get a quick word with you. You talked about how much you love being here in Portugal, how fond you are of the place. A final result, that's awesome for you. You've jumped up in the ratings. Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, I always enjoy coming back to Portugal. It's an amazing place. I love this place. 2 years ago, I had my first final win here, so great result for me, and I'm ready for the last event.
All right, well done. Once again, Luana Silva, ladies and gents. All right, well, we talk about the wave here, and we think about what kind of surfing works well with it, and you pick out certain techniques and certain surfers, and one of the people we were talking about at the beginning of the week is the next surfer we're going to invite on stage. His backhand attack on this wave has been absolutely ridiculous, almost kind of running out of words to describe how hard he's hitting the lip. He's a humble character. He's an amazing surfer. He's an emotional man. Make some noise for your men's champion from Brazil, Deivid Silva. Deivid, I'll just grab a quick word with you, mate. Mate, the performances you've been putting in here this week, the scores you've been getting, to be able to do it in the final as well, and how important that is with you with jumping up those ratings, you must feel pretty good right now.
Thanks so much. And the waves is incredible, the perfect waves. I put in my mind for the semi for the Mexican in the second place. And then thanks so much, guys, for the energy in the beach. And thanks so much.
All right, he's your people's champion, Deivid Silva, ladies and gents. Well, the Goofy Foot story was a story this year. Someone else who was ultra impressive. The way she was turning on this wave, the way she was surfing her heats, never really looked ruffled. She's been amazing throughout the week, crucially in the final as well. Posted huge numbers, going excellent again. Let's make some noise for your women's champion, Alyssa Spencer. Alyssa, we'll grab a quick word with you here. You've come so close to qualifying in the past. How good does this result feel here in Ericeira?
Yeah, this result is amazing. It's a dream come true, and it puts me in a great spot going into the last event of the year, and I'm just so grateful to be here. And yeah, I have so many people to thank, my whole team, everyone that I've been traveling with here. They've created the best environment for me, and my parents, my family back at home, I love you guys, and all of my sponsors, thank you so much for supporting me on this amazing journey, and also thank you to Portugal. This place is amazing, so yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Alyssa Spencer, your finalists and your champions of the EDP Vissla Pro Ericeira 2023. And with that, we'll throw it back to Monday in the studio.
Yeah, thanks, Paulie. Well, Paul Evans doing a great job, and 4 very stoked surfers, 2 in particular, all making big jumps up the rankings, all got a new wooden trophy to take home, and some incredible memories from what's been one of the great days of European surfing in recent times. Incredible waves, incredible performances, and some serious stoke on the beach. So really, really happy to see those guys living their best days. But we're going to go through, we saw Deivid Silva's incredible progress. Well, equally as impressive was Alyssa Spencer. She, again, like Deivid, just posting incredible scores. It's been a Goofy Foot domination, not only in the commentary booth, but also throughout this event by Spencer. Quarterfinal 3, semi-final and final, Flick Parmentier. The numbers she was posting, again, were never below 16. She didn't look like losing.
No, today, every single heat that she surfed, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, all posted above a 16-point heat total, which is major, That is a really, really hard task to do. So let's get into how she actually did it.
Yeah, Flip, she just had the connection with the wave, and I think the wave choice, as ever, was so crucial. But she just put it all on the line. And as she said, if you're posting those numbers, you just kind of almost can't lose.
Yeah, that's true. If you go out in the ocean and in every single hit you throw out 16 points of score, you're gonna make a lot of hits. That's for sure. And just like a little bit of a similarity with Deivid, they both have different styles, obviously, but it feels like they have been on the best waves throughout the whole week, and they have the best connection of all surfers. Both of them have Alyssa got the best connection with the wave on the women's side, and Deivid had the best connection with the wave on the men's side, and that's worth. And you know what? they're worthy winners, both of them, because they've been on a tear since day one, and it's really cool to see because they've been from smaller waves to bigger waves, and they still manage to adapt every single condition.
Yeah, huge. They identified Alyssa's done her homework, which she does all the time, Flick, and she said that end section was particularly important, and God, she made that homework count.
For sure. I was just actually about to say that. I just think the difference is that her last turns were just super critical. We heard her coach on the beach also say Myers was like, she's putting a lot of pressure and a lot of emphasis on that last turn. It's a real exclamation mark. Yeah, her road to the final was a big one too. She took out Ellie Harrison in quarterfinal, Zoe Benedetto in the semi, and then this was the final here where she just took off on some absolute bombs, just some of the biggest waves of the day that had come through, and did some really clean surfing. She also identified and sat a little bit wider in the lineup, whereas Luana was sitting quite a lot deeper, and these sort of wider ones that came through sort of had that bit more of a west bowl to them and really stood up, and it was just such a point of difference for me calling this heat as well. And should we see her take this one through to the inside here? You can really get a good look at what we were talking about when she was trying to make that last critical section count. So yeah, super impressive stuff from her.
Yeah, she's a star of the future. Gives Lulu a hug there, and the massive crew of Californians that are all supporting each other. Well, they were wrapped. They got a winner, and they carried her up the beach. So yeah, beautiful to watch. She got a little bit emotional as well. She should. And what a release. She's enjoying the journey, and incredible surfing from that young lady. So stoked for her. More points. And yeah, I really look forward to seeing on the CT if she can cement her place in Saquaerma. We're going to move on though to the EDP wave of the day. I mean, it's no surprise. Yeah, it should be called maybe the EDP waves of the day, because Deivid Silva just was absolutely on fire, and his 977, which is his first wave of the heat, I think from memory, was absolutely incredible. And we're going to watch it here now. I might get you to break it down for me, Philippe, because this man's backhand, it was just absolutely electric, and this was a massive, massive number. One judge, I think from memory, went all the way to 10.
Yeah, this is on the quarterfinal, number one. Look at this. Straight up top, perfect top to bottom surfing. Nice first turn, straight into a second one. A little stuck in there, but straight into a third one. Just pushing that back foot on in that one, just straight into another one. Just top to bottom surfing again, just pushing really hard. Then he finishes off with a big floater. I can only imagine if he finish it off with a hit or something bigger other than a floater, that could have been a 10 probably.
Yeah, and that was caught in the first, I think, couple minutes of the heat as well. Yeah. So that was the opening wave. So suddenly he was on fire, and he never, once he got that wave, he never let it go. So incredible surfing from Deivid, and he's got the EDP wave of the day. Okay, we're going to go straight into the men's rankings based on today's results. So much movement on these rankings because so many great surfers on the top rankings fell away early on. So, you know, these numbers here, we're seeing those guys out in front. So you can see Hausman maintains his lead and a solid one. Willcox had a good result. Jake Marshall, that is a massive jump. Up from 15th to 3rd on the rankings one. That's one that stands out.
Oh my gosh, massive jump on the rankings here. Frederico kind of sitting there, equal 3rd. Deivid Silva, big jump, but surprising Crosby, and he might drop down a couple of places. So did Eli. Remember, Eli came off the back of a win at the US Open, but Mateus Hurdy, big jump.
Yeah, he's a big jumper. And, you know, Frederico Morais, we thought he had a bad competition in terms of, he wanted to do a lot more. He was at home, especially in these conditions. If he got through to this, he could have been different. God. But he's still sitting equal 3rd on the rankings, so it's actually a keeper result for Fred.
It was. I had dinner with him last night. He was kind of bummed.
Mate. Yeah. Drop a few names there.
And it was actually, he was bummed, obviously, because he knew how good he was today, how good he was going to be today, and these conditions would be suiting him perfectly, but he's still happy being in 3rd place. Yeah. He's happy with that.
I think he'd had a chance to qualify. I guess that was what is the moment, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought we were supposed to go for dinner, Jervis. But anyway, we'll talk about that after the post-show. That's for another time, that discussion. I'm going to go through the women's rankings here. Again, some movers and shakers here. And, of course, well, big news for that person at the top of the rankings, a woman you know very well, Flick, Sally Fitzgibbons, has qualified for the CT. One of the icons and legends in the sport. She's back.
Yeah, she's back and stronger than ever and more inspired than ever, I would definitely say. Alyssa Spencer, big jump. Remember, she was in equal 7th with Luana. Luana's gone up 1 spot, but Alyssa with the win. And this just goes to show how important a win is with those 10,000 points. She's actually jumped up into a qualifying position as it stands. Isabella Nichols dropped down into 5th spot. She was in 2nd. We've had Vahine Fierro. She dropped down. She was in 6th. And Ellie Harrison jumping up as well. Bronte falling out of the top 5, jumping down to 7th place. So much movement on the women's side as well.
Yeah, and they're so grouped, aren't they? You look at from Bronte, 9 or 20,000 points.
So tight.
Up to India's only 5,000 points between 4 or 5 serves. And 5, I don't know if you know much about maths, but 10 doesn't go into 5. Well,
I don't know
you
much
can make
about
a fraction. But anyway, it is so tight and it's so committed. And yeah, it's good to see those girls. And they're going to fight it out in Saquaerma. So that's where we're headed next. We've had 6 Challenger Series events. We've done 5, 1 to go. We're moving on to Brazil pretty soon. And I'll tell you what, Saquaerma, it's a great Brazil surf capital. It's incredible waves. I mean, what are you most looking forward to about that event, Flick? What floats your boat?
For me, when I think of Saquaerma, I think that you can't just pick one surfer that you're going to be like, yep, they're gonna do really well there, because it's such a mixed bag. You don't really know what you're going to get or what kind of conditions. It can be big, it can be chunky, it can be small, it can be grovelly. So when you come to a wave like Ericeira, you can be okay. Well, your point bank specialists, people who have really good flow. But I just think it's sort of anyone's game. So that's what I'm excited about.
Jervis, what are you looking forward to about Brazil?
I'm looking forward to see everyone just battling for those spots on top 10 men and top 5 women, because everything, it's so tight and it's everyone's shot, honestly, because 10,000 points is a lot of points, and anything can happen with a good result. So it's going to be interesting to see how that top 10 on men and top 5 on women will finish up the year.
Yeah, it's going to be high pressure. So much points are up for grabs. And yeah, end of the dream. One more chance. So Brazil's coming our way. Make sure you stick around and watch that on World Surf League. We're going to watch the top 5 now. And it's been an incredible day of professional surfing here in Portugal. And here's the top 5 moments. Pretty hard to sort of narrow it down, to be honest. There were so many incredible waves ridden, but also some of the emotional kind of factors here. And this girl, this woman we just talked about, Sally Fitzgibbons, qualifying for the CT was huge.
Oh, major moment. And she's so back where she belongs. She actually lost her heat earlier this morning, but it was with India advancing and Bronte getting knocked out that solidified Sally's position for the 2024 Championship Tour. So I'm just so looking forward to seeing her back where she belongs, and I'm really proud of the way that she rallied this year to be inspired to keep up with the best on the Challenger Series.
Yeah, she was emotional, but she was so stoked, and it still meant a lot. Number 4, also at this event, Jacob Willcox. Very different story to Sally. Philippe, he's just struggled away for 6-7 years on this tour, and he's finally cracked it, and he surfed so good this event as well.
Finally we're going to see Jacob on the World Tour, and finally we're going to see Jacob Willcox surfing really good waves, because sometimes you need to grind out those challengers. Sometimes the waves are kind of weird, and we know how good Jacob is on perfect waves. And look at this, look at the size of that wave, and he's just belted all the way through the inside. That was one of the highest scores of the day yesterday, and it's going to be really cool to see Jacob. He's such a complete surfer. He surfs big waves, small waves, big barrels, left hand, right hand. He's so complete. It's going to be interesting to see him.
Yeah, Chippo's on the CT, and then moving on to number 3, Jake Marshall. We put on a show, all right. I mean, this might have been the 9.57 off the bat, and he's put the world on notice. He's ready. He's back ready for the CT.
For sure. And he's moments away from qualifying. I mean, it was almost in his wheelhouse today. If he won this event, he would have made it official. He's definitely improved on that situation. Of course, he's jumped up a lot in the rankings. But I loved what I saw from him today. He was sort of a bit of a dark horse throughout the whole event, and then today just came firing out of the gate. So.
Yeah, he was kind of, I said he was underrated. He's, hasn't had a lot of big results, hovering around that 15th mark. He's got to be consistent, but not really, putting on a show until today. And, he just went from excellent surfing to mind-bogglingly good in a day. And Jake Marshall, he's right at the top of those ratings now. Just got Saquaerma to come. and it's getting closer and closer to his dream of getting back on the CT. Okay, it's number 2. Really, really incredible from the finalist. And then, well, we come back to David Silva, Jervis. I mean, it's hard to stay away from this guy.
Yeah.
And, he's got so many waves to choose from, but yeah, it was a, he said he had the best heat of his life, and he surfed a lot of heats.
You could have an highlight reel just of these waves for today, because it was that good. He was just putting on a show and absolutely smashing. It just, once again, he caught some of the best waves of the day, and that makes a difference, especially on a spot like Ribeira D'llhas. You need to be on those good waves. You need to make sure you have the connection with the wave, as we see him just top to. That's city surfing for me. That's some of the best surfing I've ever seen in Ribeira D'llhas, to be honest. And I've been here for almost 20 years, and it just showed how good he is, and he's ready to be back on the world tour, because surfing like that, honestly, is going to be a menace.
Yeah, he's going to be a menace, all right. And he's going to be dangerous. He's got experience. He's been there before, and he looks as fit and focused as ever in his career. And yeah, to get him in some of those right-hand points in particular, he's going to be so dangerous. So yeah, David Silva. And that leads us to this here, the final number 1 moment of the event. And this is Alyssa Spencer. She's the 2023 EDP Vissla Ericeira Pro Champion. And yeah, it's so deserved, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it is. You just got to think, you know, when we had her in the booth for that heat, we had the pleasure of talking to her, and she said, despite not qualifying last year, she had one of her best years competitively so far, and she was so excited to take everything she'd learnt from last year into this year. And for me, this was just, she put pen to paper in today, you know. 3 heats she surfed, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, all 16-point and above totals, and just her backhand was impeccable. I can't fault it. It was so amazing and so critical, and yeah, I'm super inspired and super proud of her for getting the win today.
Yeah, incredible action, and yeah, we're looking at someone that could make a serious dent in this thing called professional surfing for the next 5 to 10 years if she keeps going on this trajectory. So incredible performance, incredible waves. Philippe, I'm going to go to you just for a final sort of takedown of this place. Ericeira has delivered. We've been here for just over a week. On every level, this is one of the great surf towns. And how do you feel, mate?
Oh, it is. I'm so happy. We had some grindy conditions at a certain point. The forecast looked kind of tricky throughout the whole week, and yeah, we closed with a banger. It was absolutely perfect out there, and it was exactly what we thought it would be. And yeah, it's the best way, because look at the weather, look at the crowds. It's the best way to finish.
Yeah,
mate.
If this is a tricky forecast,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I'm pretty happy with the way things have turned out. So incredible surfing here. But we march on. We go to Brazil. The Corona Saquaerma Pro, presented by Banco do Brazil. That's coming our way next week. So there's so much surfing. We're going to finalise the CT rankings. We're going to know who's on the 2024 roster. So please check that out before we go. Now I'm going to say thanks to you, Flick Parmentier. You've been an absolute pleasure to work with. Searing insights, plenty of smiles, good times. Jervis, thanks for having us, as always.
Thank you so much.
Chico Alves, I got a big thanks to the big fella. He's been on point. He's been good on the job, and he's been awesome to hang around. I wish I could say the same for Paul Evans, but he's he's turned up and he's done his bit. Joanna Garnell doing all the hard yards down on the beach. We really appreciate all the hard work. Not only their hard work, but the whole team. This is a massive endeavour from everyone, from the people that put the trucks on to us and to the surface. So thank you all for your hard work. We're going to go to the highlights. Really appreciate your support at home. Enjoy the highlights, and we'll see you next year. And welcome back to the beautiful scenes of finals day here in Ericeira. The beach is packed, the sun is shining, the wind is offshore, the swell is pumping, and the world's best surfers have to show them what they can do.
Now it's steeper through the inside.
Most of the scores came from these 2 turns here.
Behind, she's gonna do a huge 2-turn combo. First huge snap, huge carve, holding that rail, just straight into a huge finishing. such beautiful ones, and everything starts nice first snap, drifting the tail on that one, and this is my favorite turn ever.
More action for Deivid Silva.
Called it so perfectly, Leos.
Keeping that board lively. Wow, that was really nice. Look at that huge spray.
This is exactly what we want to see from him. We know how technical
easy for him, sitting in the bubble there to qualify. He wants it. You can feel it. He's putting on a good effort, bringing.
I mean, one of the judges even threw a 9.8. It was close to being a 10. So well-deserved claim there for you, Jake. I don't blame you.
Nah, yeah, we can give him that one.
I love Lulu's approach.
Really, really good stuff, and the Brazilian crew love this. I love this energy.
Cap now. She's locked in a 7.63, and it's just with her, and then cracks it up for one last maneuver there. That was super late.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.